What's up, everyone? Thanks for tuning into my channel, Jace's Own World. I appreciate it. Here is my lonesome Mark 7 GTI. Actually, it looks pretty dang good in the light right here. Not gonna lie. Love these wheels. The OZ Ultra Ligera HLTs. Love those wheels. I got some tires going on over here that have been sitting here for a while. I should probably actually rotate those today. Take off the zip ties and rotate them just to keep them, rotated so they're not sitting on one side on the bottoms for so long. But anyways, in this video, I wanted to talk about a couple things. I have a couple things on my mind. Obviously, I'm going to be pulling this motor because this motor is seized up and taking everything out and just, kind of doing things different. I need to get a new battery for it. This is all my amplifier stuff. I'm going to actually clean this up a little bit. I got to get a new battery for it, and I'm just going to clean this up for the new motor to go inside, most likely when I do that job. I'm just admiring this car because it's such a good little car. I've grown to love this car quite a bit, and there's just so many good things about it. And me kind of starting off my career later than most of you, I'm sure. I'm 43 years old, going on 44 this year, so kind of did a career switch, and it's taken me this long. So I'm actually graduating this month, and I'll be starting a new career from there after the one that I previously had. So yeah, so I don't have all this money and everything to buy all these nice expensive cars, hopefully in the future. But as far as right now, this Mark 7 GTI, pretty basic, but when it's all said and done with all the modifications and everything that's on it, it's just a really, really fun car and quite cheap because the car's paid off. Everything's not going to cost me, some money to get all this done. But in the long run, it's going to be a very fun, very capable car to get me out on stressed out days, go to, some canyon runs, do some tracks, stuff like that. So that's what this car is going to be in the future, because I got my daily over there, which is my Ford C-Max, which I have a few videos on this channel about. But anyways, getting back to this video, I have a few things in mind besides obviously the motor. As far as my downpipe is concerned, that right there is my 3-inch catless downpipe. It's the Rev 9. So I bought it from eBay way back in, I think, 2017 or 2018. This is a 2017 Mark 7 GTI. So I bought this so long ago, and it's held up through a lot of, Utah winters and Arizona summers. There's no rust on it or anything. But I do plan on replacing that one, and I'll tell you the brand here in a little bit. But as far as that, I'm going to replace it. Oh, and also I have a couple videos regarding my ECS tuning cutout that is welded on the back side or the end side of this 3-inch downpipe right here. And my plan is to keep the ECS tuning cut out because I really do like the sound of it, and I like the ability to flip open and off the cutout and stuff. And I know that there's other exhausts out there that have that ability on the muffler side, which is pretty cool. But the thing I don't like about it is it's even with it off, even with the cutout closed on those exhaust systems, the car is just too loud for me personally. So I like the sound that the car gives when the cutout on this is closed with just the 3-inch downpipe, because everything from the downpipe, everything else is completely stock. It doesn't look completely stock because I have these tips on there, but these are just tips. So I don't even have a muffler. As you can see up in here, that's the stock muffler. That's the stock muffler. So I'm keeping all that. And I plan to keep that because I like the sound of just the downpipe itself when the cutout is closed. But then when I want to get more aggressive, when I'm away from people and society, I guess, and up in the canyons and stuff, I flip open that cutout with the switch that I have right here, which I put right here on and off, okay? Obviously, it's not turning on because the car's not on, but that's what I have it at. And I like the sound of that when it's more aggressive like that. But the only thing that I don't like about the setup that it is right now is where the cutout is placed. So I have other videos on my channel that I will link in the description regarding some of the cutout videos and the sounds and stuff. But just a little recap, this 3-inch catless downpipe, at the end of it, before it hooks up to the stock exhaust, that's where the cutout is welded. And because the cutout is welded right there, it basically dumps like right here, which is right here. And when I turn it on, it's super loud in the car. Everything is rattling. And that's the only thing that I don't really like about it. I mean, I do like it because, in a sense, it gives it a unique sound because it's dumping right onto the ground and it's pretty close to the ground with the car being lowered. So that's a cool, unique sound that it gives off. But I don't like how loud it is in the car, in the cabin right there, and how everything is like vibrating and just like rattling and stuff. So that's the thing that I want to change. So my plan and my goal is to get a new downpipe. I wanted to get a new downpipe anyways because this Rev 9.1 is just old and it needs something a little better that mounts up to the factory downpipe hanger mount underneath the car a little better. So I'm going to get a new downpipe, and my goal is to actually take the car to a welding shop eventually after everything is put together with the new motor and stuff. And then when that new downpipe is installed, I'm actually going to take this old downpipe, this Rev 9 eBay downpipe that has the cutout attached to it, and I'm going to have that cutout removed at a welding shop and probably installed somewhere in the back closer to the stock muffler, so some type of section back there, and then I'll just route all the vacuum hoses and stuff back there. So that's the goal with that. So yeah, so new downpipe, and then I am going to replace this front mount intercooler, which is a CTS. You can barely see the stenciling in there because it's just old. I've had this one for probably 5+ years now, and it's done me great, but I'm just looking for something different, something a little cleaner, something a little newer. And so as far as that is concerned, I'm going to get rid of this one. I'm going to sell this one, and then I'm going to replace it with another front mount intercooler. I'm not going to get a stock replacement one because I personally like the look of the front mount intercoolers, and they do the job just fine with the IS38 turbo and the water method injection. So there's not too much power going into the car for this type of intercooler. I've never had any issues where the car overheats or anything. For all of those of you who are skeptical about that issue, I've never had any issues with that. So I might have it if I start tracking the car, and I might have to look into a stock replacement one, or I can just do a bi-cooler setup with the front mount intercooler that hooks up to the stock one that's in there already, and just utilize both of them and just, you know, go that route. So there's an option. And then the last thing that I'm going to replace as far as modifications are concerned, so, you know, number one, the downpipe is going to be newer. Number two, the front mount intercooler is going to be newer. And then number three, I'm going to actually get the charge pipe. So the charge pipe that goes from the turbo to the intercooler, and then from the intercooler to the throttle body, I'm going to replace those. The one that I have currently that goes from my front mount intercooler here to the throttle body is a spool-in one. So it's an aftermarket one, and that one has a meth bung attached to it, which is down here. You can barely see that little line right there. That is the water meth injection hose right there that connects to that. So that's why I got that one, because it also came with the kit. But also That one is going to be replaced. And this one that I have that's going from the turbo to the front mount intercooler here, that one's still stock. So I've never replaced that one or anything like that. So that one's still stock, and I want to get that one upgraded. So I'm going to upgrade the charge pipes for both of those. And then as far as aftermarket stuff, that's pretty much all of it that I'm going to do. Now, the brand that I've decided to go with, I'm going to go with the ARM Motorsports or ARM stuff. So as far as the downpipe, I'm going to get a 3-inch catted. It's going to be a high flow catted downpipe. That's what I'm choosing to go with. And the high flow catted downpipe is what I want to go with, because I'm not always going to be living here in this area. We don't have emissions in this county that I live in right now. But when I move with my new job and stuff, I most likely won't be living in an area that doesn't require emissions. So they're going to require emissions, and I need a high flow cat so that I can get that emissions taken care of. So the catless is going to go away, and the high flow cat downpipe is going to go in. It's a little bit more money, but it's going to be fine. So that's going to be the ARM high flow catted downpipe. I'm also going to get the ARM front mount intercooler, but the most upgraded, the one that can handle the most. So the biggest one, I guess. And then as far as the charge pipes, I'm also going to get the ARM charge pipe from the turbo to the intercooler, and the intercooler to the throttle body. And that's going to be all ARM Motorsports or ARM branded ones. So those are all going to be the same. I think their quality is really nice. I also like the look of their front mount intercooler. It's really thick, it's beefy, it's sturdy, it can hold a lot of power, and they have I like their stencil too. As far as their other products are concerned, everything just looks really good, and about, just right in the same price area that they should be. So I really like their stuff. I really do. So that's going to be that. As far as the motor is concerned, obviously I've talked about before. I'm just going to swap out this one, and I'm going to swap in a new used low mileage one. The clutch is going to be looked after to see if I need to replace anything in there regarding the performance disc or the flywheel or anything like that. I highly doubt it, but it's going to be inspected. As far as the intake is concerned, maybe down the road I might get rid of the stock intake and the K&N filter that I have inside here and go an actual route of an aftermarket intake. But as far as right now, this has been great, and that's all that. Regarding the motor mount and the transmission mounts, I'm going to replace those because they're both the OEM ones, and they have 187,000 miles on them, and they probably do need to be replaced because this car has been tuned pretty much its entire life and has been driven a lot harder than a stock car ever would have been. And so, I mean, running as far as crank horsepower, this is probably a 420 to 430 crank horsepower car, where from the factory it came with 210 crank horsepower. And then as far as torque is concerned, this is probably in the 400 foot-pound range, give or take some of that, where I think it's like 276 from the factory. So obviously it's like double in power as far as horsepower is concerned, and almost double in torque. So yeah, those things probably need to be replaced. I'm going to replace those with the CTS version of those. So they're going to be higher durometer than the factory ones, but they're not going to be so crazy high durometer where the NVH and everything is just going to be too much for me. I mean, I don't need something extra stiff. I mean, I'm completely fine with how it is right now as stock, so I don't need anything extra stiff, but a little extra stiffer with the CTS one is going to be fine. And then the last thing on my list to do on this car, besides just the motor swap and getting the car running, is I do really like the look of these OZ Ultra Leggera HLT wheels. I like the look of them. Obviously, the style is perfect in my opinion, and the 18-inch size is great. And I do like the gunmetal look. I do like the gunmetal look. But, you know, just to switch it up, I'm considering plasti dipping them. I know some of you are probably like, ew, plasti dip. Well, I've plasti dipped my wheels before on my E46 M3 to like a bronzish gold, more bronzy, metallic. And I had a silver E46 M3, and I had VMR VB3, I believe, wheels on that car. And when I did that, it looked really good. And I never had an issue with them flaking or peeling or anything, as long as you do it right and correctly, which a lot of people don't do. That's probably why they get a lot of them looking like crap, or they get some flaking or some peeling or whatever. You got to do it right. But yes, it is a cheap route. But the nice thing about plasti dipping is you can change the color of the wheels for like 80 bucks. You can do all 4 wheels and then change the color. And if you ever want to go back to the original color of the wheels, which these are like a gunmetal gray, then you can do that. You can just peel it right off, which is pretty easy, pretty nice. And so instead of actually painting these wheels, then you'll never be able to go back to this color. So, and honestly, it probably brings the value down when you paint them a different color than what they originally came with. So I'm considering that. And then also I am planning to get the European like blind spot monitoring side mirrors here, just because the blind spots in this car can get a little extreme sometimes. So it just has that little like concave right here. I don't know how they do it. It's not really like concave, but it shows you the blind stop in this little section right here. So super cheap, and that's gonna finish that up. I might also do a wrap on this back end here like I used to have. This used to be white from here down to here. I'm considering matching that with the color of the wheels if I do not plasti dip them. So, but yeah, I might plasti dip these like a goldish color, just to, you know, get a little, you know, different flavor. So anyways, that is everything that I have planned for this car. Stay tuned, because this car is going to be, it might seem like a bit for you because I'm not posting as much for this car, but for me, it's going to be coming up soon, because that way I can, you know, get everything in and get the car running and mobile, and also start paying everything off a lot sooner than later, because everything's going to be getting crazy here when I move away, when I get a new job and all this extra stuff. So I don't want this car just sitting here not moving, and it's just going to be a hassle trying to move it when it's not mobile. So that's the reason, a big reason for that, to get everything kind of done. But yeah, these are some of my goals, my aspirations, my plans for the Mark 7 GTI. I really do miss this car quite a bit. Sometimes I come in here and I just sit in here and reminisce. Oh my gosh, the car's so much lower than my Ford C-Max. Oh man, but I do reminisce about how, like, you know, when you get used to a car, you get used to how the car feels. When I was driving this every single day, I mean, it just felt like a normal car. But now that it hasn't been working for months and I sit in the car, all of the seats just feel so comfortable and form-fitting to my body. The ergonomics just feels nice. The steering wheel with this wrap feels great, because I literally just cleaned this Alcantara right before the car seized up. So this is just brand new cleaning Alcantara wrapped steering wheel. Just everything feels nice, and I just miss this car quite a bit now that I haven't been in it. So yeah, I want to get it going. Yeah, it smells real nice in here too, because I cleaned all these seats too, as I have a video on that too. So yeah, everything feels nice. Sometimes I just sit in here and just, you know, go through the gears and feel the clutch, and I just miss manual, man. It just feels so good. I miss it so bad. So yeah, I'm excited about it. Yes, it's going to cost a lot of money, but money is money. Money comes and goes. And if I'm not spending it on this, what else am I going to spend it on? Just random crap, right? Like, just, you know, that's the thing with me. Like, I've always been that guy. It's like, oh, you have these nice cars growing up, and yeah, you have this nice stuff, and not making a ton of money, and but you know, when it's my hobby and I enjoy it, then I enjoy spending the money on certain things compared to other things that other people spend money on. So, you know, a lot of people spend money on food. A lot of people spend money on their homes and their furniture or their yards or going on trips and stuff. Like, I don't do all that stuff. This is what I spend my money on. And I think a lot of you can relate to that, because being a car enthusiast is kind of weird to most people, but to us, it's like, it's what we kind of live for. It's our zen. It's our way to get out and just de-stress about life, because life gets busy, life gets stressful, everything gets in the way sometimes. So it's nice to just take our hobby, be able to go for a drive and enjoy it, even if we're not even going fast. Just hearing the sounds, going through the gears. For me, going through the gears, taking a drive up a mountain and feeling the inputs of the car and just being connected with this in nature is what I love about it so much. So, yep. All right, guys. I'm going to end it here. And yeah, if you have any ideas for me making any other videos before I do all this engine work and stuff like that, let me know, because I'm running out of ideas. I'm running out of ideas to making this car, but I want to keep you guys entertained and informed about the car and all this stuff, so that when the time comes, when I do actually get this car going, that you'll be excited for that. So that's what I want for you guys, and it's exciting for me. So give me some ideas on what I can make about this car that doesn't require the car driving. All right, that doesn't require the car driving, because, or like fixing something because the car's not running. So give me some ideas of what you guys would like to see, and I'll try to work that into this channel. All right, guys, once again, thank you for watching, and I appreciate everything that you've done. Welcome everyone who is new to this channel, and I will also put those links of the exhaust of the cutout, into the description, so go ahead and check those videos out. All right, thanks again for watching. Please like and subscribe, and until next time, peace.